Let's try a different Dan. Let's try Dan from California. I'm determined to get someone named Dan on the show today.
Hi, David.
Hey, Dan.
I've got a Hi, I have a YouTube channel on which I do debates and discussions. I called a few months ago.
Oh,
I'm
are
an
you the
Ayn
one
Rand
who
fan.
offered me $100 to debate you for 3 hours?
Well, what I said was, how much would I get for $100? I didn't propose 3 hours.
Well,
But I saw
listen, yeah, okay, fair.
yeah. So first of all, I was wondering if I can post my calls to your show to my channel.
So if what you're going to do, there's no special policy for Dan from California. So here's what the rules are as we allow them. Is that fair to explain?
Sure.
If you are going to just clip your call from my channel and re-upload it wholesale, the answer is no, because you're essentially just re-uploading my content. On the other hand, if you are going to take it and do a commentary of it on your channel, or if you are recording this call from your end right now and you're going to upload, your face talking to me right now, if it's your video, then absolutely, because that's your content or you're transforming my content. But we don't allow just wholesale re-uploading of our content. Is that fair?
Okay, yeah, I think I understand. So if I'm recording with my face this very same call, but so it looks different, then I could upload that.
Absolutely. That's your video, sir.
Okay. Then I guess to go into a more contentful issue,
Sure.
I think last time I was describing my position as involving no taxes, and at the end of the call, I think you described it as utopian libertarianism.
Mm,
And to that, I would just want to distinguish my view from libertarianism, because a lot of libertarians are anarchists and they believe in no
okay.
government at all. Whereas I think there should be a government. It's just that it should be limited in its role and it should be funded voluntarily, not by coercive means like taxation. And as for utopian, maybe that is intended to suggest it's not practical, but I think it's very practical, and history helps bear that out. I think the closer we've gotten to the sort of system Ayn Rand advocates of no coercion by the government, the more progress there's been. The late 19th century, I think, was the closest that any country ever has been in the United States, that is, to a pure capitalist society. And that was a tremendous growth. There was extreme growth and progress, and millions of immigrants from around the world came to our shores for more freedoms and opportunities. So I think if we look at the facts, that helps show that it is a practical system.
I disagree. So let me just make sure that now I'm not misstating. You are a non-anarchist libertarian that would rely on voluntary contributions rather than forced taxation. Is that just a yes or no? If I got it right, then just a yes is fine.
But yes, except I don't like the term libertarian. I prefer the term objectivist, which is the names of Ayn Rand's philosophy, objectivism.
Okay, so you prefer a different term, but am I right that what you're describing is non-anarchist,
Yeah.
voluntarist libertarianism?
Yes.
Okay, so we're not going to be able to go into all of these elements today, but so that the
Okay.
audience can research and investigate for themselves. The problems with what you're talking about are free riders, coordination difficulties, extreme inequality, inconsistency and unpredictability of funding, emergencies and unexpected events, what you do about public goods and externalities, as well as trust issues. Now, I know you will disagree with me, and every one of those elements from that list could be an hour debate, which we're not going to have because we don't have time for. But for people in the audience who want to explore what you are suggesting and why I think it's totally impractical, that would be the list of problems I have with it. Is that a fair list for people to investigate at least?
The list went by pretty quickly. So, but just to single out one of them, the issue of wealth inequality, that I think is a non-problem. I don't think there is an inherent problem with people having different amounts of wealth or income. I think what's relevant is how they get it. So if they get their wealth by coercion or by
But Dan, I'm
fraud,
talking about something else. The problem I'm pointing out is not only in the type of system you describe with voluntary contributions in terms of funding services and whatever, you will end up having dramatically more influence and priority for those who contribute more, often by virtue, not because they just want to contribute more, but because a lot of people don't have much to contribute. And therefore, it becomes a feedback loop of increasing inequality, even in access to simple things like public services. And I believe that that's bad.
Well, I agree that inequality before the law is bad. Like if you have different rules for rich people and for poor people, like in the feudal times, we had the king or the nobility, which has special privileges, but under capitalism, there are no special privileges. Everyone is equal before the law. That doesn't mean they have equal wealth, but it means they have equal rights. No one has
Right.
special rights.
But in a voluntarist system of the sort you describe, it will also inevitably get them priority and greater access to things I believe should be public services. So, Dan, we're going to leave it there because we've got so much going on, but I do appreciate you calling in.
Thanks for taking my call, David. Appreciate it.
All right. Dan from California. You'll see the call on his channel. That I can almost certainly assure you. All right, folks. Thank you for calling in. We're going to take a break. We'll take more calls again next week.